Hey there anyone! Recently I found a joy in pickling and I wanted to show you what I did. Today I'm going to be pickling some small onions. I've got here 3 pounds gold, 1 pound red, and 1.5 pounds white onions. What you'll want to look for is any rot. Discoloration and deformation are fine. What you're looking for is soft spots. Any rot, just go ahead and toss into the compost pile. I heard that an easy way to remove the skins of the onions is to put them in a pot with room temperature water and heat until boiling. Then remove from heat and let cool. Once cool, you can remove root end and simply pop out. This was not effective for me. Next time I pickle onions, I'll just be cutting and skinning normally, not only because this step did not work to save time, but it also slightly cooked the outer layers of the onions, and I can only imagine the final product won't be as crisp because of this. To sanitize, I put the jars inside of a large pot and covered with purified water. I do not want to risk any contamination in the jars, plus if you use anything else, it will leave a film on the jars. Bring the pot of jars to a boil, and once boiling, start a 10-minute timer. While the jars are heating, I started the brine. For this many jars, I heated and dissolved 6 tablespoons pickling salt and 3/4 cup sugar into 3 cups of purified water. Once heated and dissolved, I put 6 cups of pure white vinegar in. Once boiling, I brought the heat down to keep warm while finishing cutting the vegetables. First up to the table is serrano peppers for a little bit of heat and color. I cut the tip and stem off, cut a sliver down the side to easily remove the seeds and pith with a spoon. Then I cut the larger pieces in half lengthwise in order to keep everything uniform. Next up is a few Anaheim Peppers, cut and pith removed in similar fashion. Next time I do this, I'm going to be leaving a few of these pieces long for a reason that I'll be showing you later. Now for the garlic. You could spend all your day skinning these little guys, but we'll be doing that with the onions already, so I highly recommend this wonderful product. It's whole cloves of garlic, no preservatives, vacuum sealed in individual little pouches, making this process much easier. You could crush the garlic. When you crush the garlic,
why make you do this? Crush. When you crush it. When you crush the garlic. No, we don't have to do that. When you crush it, crush. Crushing. When you crush the garlic. No, I'm not doing it, Vince. It'll form a thing called Allison. It's kind of like a 2-part epoxy, and that's like the super. That's that good stuff.
But this time around, all I did was cut the root end off and left it whole. Next up is some fresh ginger. I've seen people just wash and throw in the whole piece of ginger, but I plan on eating it, and I don't know how the papery skin is going to pickle. So all I'll do with these is shave off the skin and cut into similar sized pieces to distribute into the jars. Next up to get hacked into pieces is some habaneros, end and stem cut, pith removed, and sliced into long ribbons of beautiful heat and color. Once everybody is settled and ready, it's time for the showstopper, the onions. There's no easy way out. It must be done one at a time. Stem and root sliced, outer layer of skin cut with fingers, separated into bowls of value. One of soft, slippery balls of deliciousness and the other of unwanted time and energy that will be placed into the hole in the earth to nourish the backs of the bugs we step on in order to keep the demons at bay with our concrete walls lined with sunless light. Sorry, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So continue to cut and separate the onion from the skin, and when the task seems dauntless, just remember that the largest and the smallest rivers are all made one drop at a time. One drop done thousands of times can create wonderful things. Once onions are ready, you can prepare the sterilized jar with spices. I like to add each ingredient into each jar separately in order to give an even distribution. I use 1 teaspoon whole black peppercorns, 1/4 teaspoon dried thyme, 1/4 teaspoon dried rosemary, 1/4 teaspoon celery salt. Ideally you would use celery seed, but I didn't have any. 2 cloves and a sprig of fresh dill in every jar. You'll then want to distribute the vegetables evenly, having some at the bottom, placing a layer of onions, then putting more of the veg. Here, I put in some pre-sliced carrots in order to give some sweetness, but also in order to give more of a color contrast. I had to cut up more of the onions in order to fill the jars. And here is going to be the perfect time to add in the 1 teaspoon of crushed dried whole chilies that I forgot to put in earlier. Once full, here's where those long pieces of pepper would come in handy. You can place the peppers in the jars in a way so that they hold everything down. Once everything is in, I wipe down the rims of the jars with a vinegar-soaked paper towel, then carefully pour the heated brine so as to leave no air at the top once the lids are placed. I again wipe down the rims with a vinegar-soaked paper towel, not only to clean the rims, but to give a chance for some of the trapped air to come to the top before placing the lids and screwing on finger tight. Once lids are finger tight, place back into the hot water bath and turn on heat. Once the water is boiling, start a timer for 10 minutes. When timer goes off, remove jars from water and leave on rag to cool. Once cooled, the jars will be vacuum sealed and be good to store unopened for a very long time. Once opened, you'll want to refrigerate and consume within a few weeks. These are great on a salad, fish, or even just by themselves with some bread dipped into the vinegar. If you end up making this, please let me know down in the comments how you eat it, and if you're still watching this video at this point, I'm going to assume you enjoyed, so why don't you throw me a sub? I would super appreciate it. Hope you all have a good day.